Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here. Bet on.
Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that?
Yeah. Huh? Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. How y'all doing, man? Man, listen, we up in this thing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all for being in the live. Big ups, big ups, big ups. Appreciate y'all, man, on this hump day edition of the Coma. This one's called Loomis. Good chance to return as a general manager. Y'all know what this is. All right, so big ups to the fam, man. There's a poll question there, man. Feel free to engage and check out the poll, man. Right now, the question is, who do you think will be the GM in 2025? There are 4 options there. Please feel free to chime in right now. 35% of the family members are saying it's going to be Slick Mickey. 28% or 29% are looking at Kai Harley as the guy. And the thing is, it's y'all guys get your word in. Let me know who you think. So big ups to you guys for being in a live, man. Much love to everybody up in this piece. Much love. All right, Backwoods, I see you. Appreciate you. OG Jerry, Quavadius, shout out. Brother Judah, what's up, Barbara? Shout out to the Queen. All right, big ups to everybody. What's up, John? Good to see you. Maul and Maul, much love. All right, big ups to everybody, man, in the stream. Backwoods, Charlie, I see you, fam. Much love. All right, Max says Mickey has done nothing. Old people would disagree with you on that, Max. They'll tell you, hey, hold on now. Hold on now, Max. Let me tell you a goddamn thing or 2 or 3. Oh, I know. I was a general manager. Were you still wearing diapers there, Bucko? I won't play with me. I'll come for you there, buddy. Oh. But the reality is, you go back. That's what's the rep that Mickey Loomis is still operating with. He's thinking that in his mind that this is 10 to 15 years ago. And this is the thing. Now, the issue is with the family members, man, is that we know better. Like a lot of the black and gold people know there is a issue in terms of the direction of the team, right? Over the last 4 years, the Saints they're on pace to miss a fourth year of not making the playoffs, which means you're headed in the wrong direction. We got a bunch of players here, older players, and it's simply not working out. So usually there's some course correction that need to be made, but it takes a captain or somebody at the head of the ship that's willing to have some accountability here and make the proper calls. So we'll go over this article right here. We'll talk about the injury report right quick. I won't hold you guys for very long on this stream. But Max is right. Mickey has done nothing except prove he's nothing without Sean Payton. That is clear as it can get. That is veritas. That is true. L Dub, shout out to you, Big Velly. Be great, Josh. Big ups to y'all, man. Louisiana, man. Much love, fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the live, man. So anyway, let's kind of get at this right quick, fam. Let's get at the injury report here for the black and gold, the first one of the week heading into the Giants matchup. 12 Saints reportedly on Wednesday's injury report. Of course, Taysom is done for the year. We got that news earlier as well, that Taysom is done for. He's out for the rest of the season with that horrible leg injury. Cesar Ruiz is under concussion protocol. He had an issue there. He's out. Nick Saldiveri is also out with a knee issue. Juwan Johnson limited with a foot. Eric McCoy, good news on him. He is playing with a groin issue. Bub Means with an ankle is limited. Foster Monroe has a shoulder issue. Lucas Patrick has a calf that he's limited. All limited players. Passanio is fully practicing. The thought process is that Passanio will come back this week against the Giants. Coming back from that Achilles. Tyrann Mathieu forearm is fully practiced. Kendre Miller is on pace to come back too, just in the nick of time with Taysom being out of there. We're going to need his production as well as Jamal Williams if they ever decide to run him. So he's coming back from the hamstring issue. Pete Werner with the hand also fully practiced. Of course, we take a look at the other injury report with the Giants, and this is a few things they have. Tay Banks, the defensive back, is DNP'd. So is Jermaine Elu Manor. I hope I said that right. The offensive lineman with a quad issue. Evan Neal, the big offensive lineman, is DNP'd. So is Raheem Nunez Roches. He's DNP. Linebacker Bobby Okereke. Hope I'm saying that right. DNP. And then, of course, limited. You see guys there. DJ Davidson, Tommy DeVito, who is the quarterback with a right form. He's limited. We'll watch and see what goes on with him because he's a spark plug for the Giants. You know, he has that sparky nature. I'm not saying that they'll beat the Saints, but he gives them a little spark there. Bryce Ford Wheaton, the wide receiver, has an Achilles issue. He was limited. Deontay Johnson, the linebackers, limited. And defensive lineman Jordan Riley with a knee was limited. So the Giants are a 2-win team, and the Saints will be favorites in that game to take care of business against said Giants, right? So that's the injury report for Wednesday, man. And very interesting, man. But to have McCoy on pace, Kendre Miller with losing Taysom, getting Kendre back, Eric McCoy, Lucas Patrick, and we got to keep it rolling, fam. We got to keep it rolling. Injuries, not indicative. It's always a ever present thing with physical football, basketball. It don't make a difference whether you the Saints or the Pelicans. You're going to deal with some injuries. It don't make a difference. That's why you have to construct these teams and build them correctly so that you can absorb as many of these injuries as you can. You have to really stay up on the cutting data. Your medical staff has to be top notch. And when stuff like this starts hitting, you need to get proactive. Like I was saying with the Saints stuff, we're saying this because they have a history of falling behind when it comes to all of this kind of stuff. Too quick to call. It's too quick to get right into the injuries, excuses. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it because everybody has flipping injuries. Everybody has them. Everybody has to deal with them. And how you deal with them will dignify or signify rather how successful you are as a football team, basketball team, baseball team, don't make a damn difference. Everybody got to deal with injuries. It's how you maneuver through them or around them. That'll show to your level of success. And the Saints are not good at that. They're not good at adjusting for injuries, because if injuries are hitting you, you need to start moving people in and out of this thing. When the bye week was here, why wasn't there anybody being brought in here during the bye week? Wide receivers, offensive linemen, sitting up here saying we're going to get this guy back. There is no guarantee that if you have an injured player that comes back, that same injured player can re-injure himself and end up losing time after the fact. We've seen that happen several times throughout the season. They pretend like they don't understand that principle, and we keep getting hit with the same bullshit over and over again. It's really stupid. Really, it is. And the thing is, it's always an excuse to how you perform, but when it come down to getting that money, when it's time to put money in hand, there ain't no damn excuses there. We don't give them out excuses when we forking over tens of hundreds of millions of dollars to dome renovations so they can make tens of millions to billions of dollars. We're not late on our payments. Although the Saints was late on theirs with that $20-something million payment that they had to go public to shame them into paying. Yeah, we as the taxpayers are not late on our payments. The dome lights are still on. The dome water still, all the utilities are paid for by you. So it's just very insulting, but come with the bullshit injury thing that you can miss me with that. Totally miss me with that. Anyway, let's move on, man. This is the name of the show right here. Just to break this down, the insiders believe Mickey Loomis has, quote, good chance, end quote, to return as Saints general manager. Let's get into this article. 2024 season has caused some turmoil for the Saints. That's an understatement of the year right there. But it sounds like general manager Loomis' job is safe for a time being. On Wednesday, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported, quote, the early belief among league insiders that Mickey Loomis has a good chance to remain as general manager. That's not 100%, but that's what people know on these sort of things are predicting. Now, let me say this as I am known to say. Remember, go back in your great Saint think tank genius memory and remember when Dennis Allen was still here and they had people saying that word on the street, well, not word on the street, because that's usually what I would say, but they were saying insiders are believing that they know these people and that Dennis Allen was not going to go anywhere because the Saints hadn't fired somebody since I don't know when, since the mid 80s or some bullshit. Oh, well, the Saints don't have a such and such a firing anybody. These same people were saying the same stuff. Y'all remember? Put one in the chat if you remember that. Put one in the goddamn chat if you remember that. When they were saying that Saints hadn't fired anybody since the 80s, and well, the Saints are not that type of team. What's going to end up happening is Dennis Allen going to end up finishing the season, and then after that, then they're going to see what they're going to do with Dennis Allen. And I told them people, no, that's not how this is going to go. That was a different time, and this is a different time. And this time, we're not playing with your ass. We want that guy out of here. And guess what? We got him up out of here. To the chagrin of this dude that's on the screen. And here go the article right here. Remember when this dropped? I got the facts on screen. NFL.com. Saints general manager Mickey Loomis, quote, pressure and stress, end quote, caused team to fire Dennis Allen. Pressure and stress. Who's applying the pressure and the stress? It ain't Gail. And Lord knows it ain't Dennis Lauscher, who we need to constantly keep this guy next to Mickey Loomis. Dennis Lauscher, Dennis Lauscher, Dennis Lauscher. Not enough bows and arrows are aimed at Dennis Lauscher. They all picking up on Mickey Loomis, but don't you dare forget Lauscher. That's why when I talk about Mickey Loomis, these thumbnails come with Lauscher because he his boss. That's Mickey Loomis's boss is this guy right here. Lauscher. Dennis Lauscher, who's the president of the Saints. He's the president of the New Orleans Saints, and he's the president of the New Orleans Pelicans. And he don't know shit about either one of these professional teams. He's an accountant. He should not be the president of a professional football or basketball team. He's not qualified for that. If Mickey want to talk about qualifications, that flipping guy is not qualified for that. He's not qualified to be the president of a professional football team, neither basketball team. Why? Because he does not provide accountability where it belongs. He doesn't keep pressure and stress on the guy underneath him, which is Loomis, who has 2 jobs, who doesn't need to have 2 jobs. He doesn't need to be the VP in the GM because he's muddling the titles together and not doing the job as a general manager. A real general manager would have never let the Saints fall into a 7-game losing streak without forcing and putting pressure and stress on the head coach to make changes at the coach level. Whether that's taking Clint Kubiak with these boring, lame, predictable plays that he keeps running over and over again. Boy, if I see that play where, well, I ain't gonna see it no more because Taysom's gone. That's why we're not gonna see it. When Derek Carr runs his ass off to be a wide receiver and Taysom Hill is the quarterback. If I see that play, and I probably ain't gonna see it no more because pull Taysom on the injury list. But this same lame, garbage, non-adjustable, foolish, boring ass plays ran over and over and over again. Over and over again. The same 10 or 12 or 13 dumb plays that he runs. No imagination whatsoever. But pressure and stress should have been placed on these coaches, and they should not feel comfortable when you're losing. You're not going to feel comfortable when you're losing because your job is to win. Now, if you lose, you lose not because you're dumb or you don't promote or put up a intelligent effort, not a stupid ass effort, but an intelligent effort that the other team just wanted a little bit more and you lose a close one. We can live with that, a battle, but not a game where you just go out and just throw the game away. Because you can't execute a play, you can't execute a block consistently, and it's just below the standards of what we established here. Because the bagheads, they came here and they set the first guard to run all this out of the way. Because that guy back in the day was running this team, wanted to just make money. He just wanted to prop his ass up there and make money, and the people got fed up with it and says, "Man, we ain't giving you nothing." And then they made a change. The Saints got better. Then they started to fall down again because that's what happens over time. So what they did in the next rain, this happened right before Katrina came in. People was telling Tom Benson talking about he want a brand new open air stadium over there on the Wall Lumber site. For my New Orleans people, y'all know what I'm talking about. An open air stadium paid for by the state and the city. They want the state and they could take money to build an open air stadium for the Saints. So you kidding me? And the team sitting up here stanking 8 ways to Tuesday. Stanking. People was telling them, don't you dare. And the city, the state was they were thinking about giving it to them. And there was a backlash, big backlash. Don't you goddamn dare do that. And they backed off. But he was threatening to move that team to San Antonio to play him in the Alamo. He was threatening all kind of stuff. He ain't moved. Saints, the family members ain't budge on it. What changed was Katrina came in. When Katrina came in, it destroyed the dome and the arena, and it took not only state but federal money to fix the dome. And really, one of the last legs of it was this leg we just seen with another $500 million, $250 million actually. A little bit more than $250 million to finish the last legs of renovations on the New Orleans Saints, so you can have side panels and escalators up there and more areas where you can spend your hard-earned money on these stupid $20 nachos and this $15 beer and whatever else bullshit that's going on. So you can sit up there and watch them lose game after game and give a half-ass approach. You pissed off, but at the end of the day, they get their checks direct deposited after every game. The only loss here is you take the loss. But when we call you to win, you're gonna win. Cause see, this ain't we ain't gonna let you make it on the injury bullshit. And the moment you ever stand up here and try to be braggadocious or arrogant and insulting to the Who Dat Nation, we're gonna shut you the F down. Because we are funding everything that you do, and we're not gonna play with you on that. We will shut you down. So when I started talking, a lot of Who Dats, everybody started riding, they started realizing, and this is what you see on screen, that Mickey Loomis, pressure and stress caused team to fire Dennis Allen. Not pressure and stress. The mighty Who Dat Nation spoke, and she heard it, and she said, put that effing guy on the street right now. He ain't want to do it. You overran his power. Yes, his power, whatever little power he got over there, the VP and general manager power wasn't enough to stop Dennis Allen from getting fired. That means you exerted your power and put that effing guy in the street. He didn't like that at all. He petty. He still ain't got up there and talked to Abel. He's still talking to Mike Hoss. We listened to the interview he did yesterday with Mike Hoss. We reacted to that on the Patreon special. Went over that. Still not messing with Bobby Abel, because Bobby Abel there tells him things that the Who Dat Nation wants to know about. So he goes to softball Mike Hoss and gets asked silly ass questions that we don't give a rat's ass about. The Saints is a 4-win team, and Hoss is giving him comeuppance for something. What are you giving? Just what are we doing? But in the end, man, this is the thing: stress and pressure and stress. And I said, I show you this an example for Dennis Allen, because they said that wasn't going to happen. I told them, you're a damn lie. When the people get fed up, everything stops. We'll grind your what is it, $5, $6, $7 billion operation to a damn halt. We'll grind it to a halt. You can't beat us. And I told them that. I kept telling them that. I kept telling the Who Dat Nation where your power resides at. And this is veritas. Y'all remember, let this sear and burn into your memory about you had a direct effect in firing Dennis Allen over the top the VPGM who didn't want to get rid of him. You did this. So anyway, to get back to this, I kind of compared the two for a reason. The reason is the same people that was saying that Dennis Allen will be here for the rest of the year are the same people that's saying that to Mickey Loomis. Remember when the reports came out, and I covered this before, when it hit weeks ago, was the fact that there was two groups. It was a bit of a division in the split with Gale and Lauscher and Loomis. Remember, Lauscher is with Loomis. He doesn't check him. He doesn't tell him anything. He lets him do whatever he wants to do. And it's the same thing with the Pelicans. You cannot hire somebody and just let them sit up there for years without having thorough checks on this person on a regular basis, if not a monthly or bi-weekly evaluation of their talent. I don't care how long they've been there. You have to be able to stay. That's what accountability. Don't care how old you are. You can be 15 or you can be 115. It don't make a difference. Accountability don't care. You have to. You still are up under the tutelage or whatever the guidance of accountability. We have to have accountability if we're going to win anything. We can't have these rapid or these renegade type people running around here saying, "I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm the boss here." No, we can't have all of that. We got to have some evaluation going on here to check for these people. Like for the Pelicans, we can't have David Griffin sitting on top of the team, just making excuses, not doing what the hell he's supposed to do. The team falling through the floor, and then you're blaming it on injuries. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, you can't just sit up. There's things that you can do. And now everything's hitting the fan. that's what I was saying, man. At the end of the day, accountability, man. We don't hit. You're not going to make it with the injury excuse. We're not playing that. And Mickey Loomis is under fire, big time under fire. And let me tell you something, man. Don't forget, anytime the people have more power than the general manager and do something that he was supposed to do, this is by far a bad look for him. This hire with Dennis Allen was a complete unmitigated disaster. How he handled it was a disaster, where he was still talking about he's an excellent and great coach. This guy's a moron, man. This guy's a fool. He's a chump, a mark, an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. He don't know what he's talking about. Nobody's out there talking about Dennis Allen is a good head coach. Oh, he was a good head coach. The only reason why he failed is because of the injuries. No, you idiot. You're not supposed to say anything about injuries, and they tell you that. They tell you that all the time. You have the power to be able to do something about injuries. Before the trade deadline, you have the ability to trade. You have the ability to go to the people practice squads and pilfer people off their practice squads. You have the ability to sign people in free agency. You got to get guys off the team that ain't playing. We still have guys on the team that are Dennis Allen type of mindseted people that don't need to be here. There are guys that don't need to be on this team that we should have gotten out of here. When he left, there should have been a list of different cats that's following his ass out of the door. But there wasn't. There wasn't. So we still have a lot of people not doing their jobs there, and it's just sad. But anyway, let me get back to the article, man, and finish this up. The early belief among league insiders that Mickey Loomis has a good chance to remain as the Saints general manager. That's 100%. But that's what people it says in the know on these sort of things are predicting. Let me tell you something, fam. Mickey Loomis been with the Saints for a long time, but there had never been a situation where Mickey Loomis was override it by the owner. That she had total trust in Mickey Loomis until the Dennis Allen thing. That creates cracks and fractures. That shows that Gail, remember, a lot of these guys were given to her by Tom Benson. He passed away and left her this staff. And Gail's hearing frustrated. Now, Gail's not a person that's going to sit in that ivory tower. Gail is around. She's a people person. She's a socialite. So she's going to go, Gail, you can go to different hospitals and charities, and Gail's in there meeting and smiling and shaking hands. She's a socialite. She's a mover and shaker. She's a socialite. She likes to meet people, that type of thing. And when people talk to her, she listens to the people and she listens to the players. Both the players and the people are saying the same thing. She did her investigative work where Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscher were just sitting on their ass letting the team burn, waiting for injuries. This is how crazy this is. But in the end, there was a crack and fracture in the relationship insofar as the trust. Anytime you go over and command him to fire somebody, he's saying, hold on, Gail, hold on, don't fire him. It's injuries. And no, fire him. And fire him. And then he comes out and says stress and pressure. That's you. That he was lying about. And I done busted that guy and lying about people with the tickets when people were cashing their tickets back for the Detroit game that we played. People was selling their tickets to the Detroit people. And then they asked him about it. He's like, well, that's because they needed their money. They needed their money, and that's what they did. They sell the tickets. It's tough out here right now, people. And that's why they didn't know. They didn't see you just lie about, just create a whole narrative that's BS and BS bull based. And it wasn't that. It's the fact that the Saints stink. That's what it is. The Saints stink. Let's keep it real. They stink. They stink because they don't have any accountability. They stink because they don't have much imagination. They stink because they're not consistent, persistent, and thorough. Let's keep it all the way funky. They stink. That's what it is. They're a 4-win team. They're a 4-8-win team with 5 games left in the season. Somebody, it's still a chance. Not a chance for a team that it's a low IQ team, which is players don't even, man, I'm not going to give it. They stink, man. They stink. They're a bad team with no vision. You got a passionate coach right there, but he's not a strategist. He's not a person, a guy that's a good strategy man. He's a good guy is a emotional, passionate guy, but wants the honeymoon over. What else you got? That rah-rah stuff is good, but we also need a game plan. You know, we need some direction here. You need to start shaking. You moved some parts over here on the defense that made it play better. You did some stuff with the special team, but how you sit up there and left that offense like that, huh? Hmm? One touchdown last game. How you left that offense like that? Why you didn't do something about that offense when you walked in the door? Oh, the offense is good. No, it ain't. Offense is not good. Been saying it for a while now. The guy is non-imaginative. He keeps running the same plays over and over again. He overuses his players over and over again. It's just, and if I can see it and you can see the same plays are being run, and guess what? The defenses can see it too. We don't adjust well, especially in the second half. The Rams adjusted and just bullied the hell out of the Saints. I mean, it's just what it is. It's a low IQ team that stink. You got players that's on there that ain't supposed to be on there. They got guys that shouldn't even be having an NFL check from us that's still on the Saints team. Why is Ali Udo still at? Why is Cedric Wilson? They caught one pass. That you mean to tell me we can't find another player on free agency that can help us in the speed department? Why are we still messing around here? I would rather have Mason Tipton out there than have that out there. At least I know I got a guy that can run and do something. I mean, he's a rookie, but I know his ceiling is just what it is. He'll get better. Well, free agency, regardless or not, we need other players. We need more than what we have because we're not doing it with what we have. We just need to motivate these guys. That's what it do. I don't need how. The ultimate sense of motivation that I can give an NFL player is to pay the son of a bitch. That's what I can do is pay you. You're in the NFL. Unlike a lot of people out here that might have to work at a factory. They might have to drive trucks. They might have to work on the railroad like I freaking did for years. They might have other people that do all kind of other stuff to make a living. And you in the NFL making hundreds of thousands, some of them to tens to hundreds of millions of dollars. You can't get motivated off of that. Man, come on, man. What we talking about here? Professional. We are supposed to be professionals, but we got a lot of guys on this team not supposed to be on here, fam. That's why you got a 4-8 team. Guys are still here that they're not supposed to. We ain't clear out all these people like we were supposed to. Some of these guys you can't motivate because they're not good. You got to get them the hell up out of here. Just real spill. I got to give you 100% funk. I ain't going to dance around with the cotton candy nonsense. We don't have time for that. So anyway, Loomis has been a member of the Saints organization since 2000, was named general manager in 2002. He added the title of executive vice president in 2013. Unfortunately, the Saints recently have struggled to capture the success of years past, failing to qualify for the playoffs for 3 straight seasons, soon to be 4. At 4-8, the team is looking at the 4th consecutive year without a postseason appearance. Dennis Allen was fired after the team's 2-7 start and replaced by special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi. Fowler went on to explain that Loomis' job security indicates the Saints could be eyeing someone with previous ties to the organization as they search for a new head coach this season. The Saints have traditionally valued connectivity, familiarity, which could be a factor in the interview process. Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, the defensive back coach, is expected to get a look in New Orleans. Fowler stated Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady, a Saints offensive assistant in 2017 and 2018, and the LSU offensive coordinator when Burrow led the Tigers to a championship is a logical name as well. I don't know about all that. An intriguing candidate would be Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph, who is from New Orleans area. The Saints will likely cast the proverbial wide net, but I think their tendency toward familiarity is noteworthy. No, it's not. We've done that. It's time to switch gears. We've done the familiarity thing. That's how we got Dennis Allen. See what I'm saying? If Mickey Loomis is the guy making these calls here, we're like, oh, hold on. We can go with somebody we know. No, you need to go with somebody you don't know. You need to break this thing open, man. No disrespect to Coach Glenn, because I think Coach Glenn would do a decent job. But we got to try something else. We got to do something else, man. I would prefer to have an offensive-minded coach to run the Saints, to be over the Saints. I would prefer to have an offensive-minded coach. Problem with the Saints have been offense. We hadn't been able to find a guy with some imagination and some real accountability. Some guy that know what the hell he's doing, a guy that can adjust and adapt. These guys we got right now, they hard head, they don't understand nothing. You keep telling them the same stuff over and over again, and what they do, they keep doing the same. They just go out and do it. A guy reporters ask you, "Hey man, you think Taysom Hill, you using him here, that, and the third? Are you concerned about uh overusage of Taysom Hill, such and such? You do know he's in his mid-30s, such and such." No, I ain't worried about that. Yeah, he played a lot in the previous game, such and such, such and such. Are you kind of worried? No, we're not worried about that. We do a good job to kind of such. So I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You use him too much. And then his dumb play calls, like instead of just putting a QB sneak in there, why we can't use a QB sneak? The old fashioned QB sneaks when a guy gets behind the center and he gets the ball and says, "Go forward." Remember the QB sneak? The Rams did it to us twice last game, and they did it well. Each time they picked up 3 to 4 yards. So I mean, can't we do that? But I'm listen, man, we need to try something new in terms of him being pushed out of there. I don't want Mickey Loomis making these calls no more. Because who's to say that he won't hire another Dennis Allen flub ass coach in here? He don't know what he's looking for. The whole thing that happened with the Sean Payton thing, his whole little hat rests on, I chose Sean Payton. Actually, it was Tom Benson. You just conducted the search. And then he whittled them down. Tom Benson interviewed the guys that he liked. And he chose Gary Kubiak. And I told the family members this. I said this all the time. I don't romanticize no history. Why should I? I tell it like it is because that's the truth. He chose Tom Benson, rest in power. He chose to go with your boy, Gary Kubiak. That's what he chose to do. And guess what? Gary Kubiak says nope. Because Tom Benson didn't want to pay the man the money the Houston Texans was looking at doing. So at the end of the day, it didn't work. So they went with Sean Payton. And Sean Payton, that's how they got him. It's really not what it is. All right, anyway, so we'll be that. Look at my boy TJ. Shout out to my dog TJ. All right. So anyway, the Saints will be in action on Sunday in a winnable game against the Giants, who are tied for the worst record at 2-10. All right. So anyway, that's a little something on this cackling hyena right here. Oh yeah. Hold on now. Number 9. So anyway, listen, fam, all I can say, man, is that over the last few days, years rather, this is what it's looked like here. If you look at it, the Saints 9-8-21, 7-10 in 2022, 9-8 in 2023, 4-8, 2024. Going in the wrong direction, baby. You're going in the wrong direction. And the reality is, how can we change and fix? Well, it takes money to fix things. This year, the Saints are up by almost 4 million in 2025. When a year change, this is what they'll be facing. The number in red, 62.8, almost $63 million in the hole the Saints are. That's by far like 20 plus or more mil than the closest to second team. This is what we consistently been doing. There was a couple of years ago where the Saints were $100 million in the red. That is not how you're supposed to run a team. And now you're seeing, as the draft picks don't hit and the older players are getting hurt consistently, and you don't have the thorough depth that you need to keep the team going, you're seeing the team starting to shrink and fall apart. And then to kind of hold it together, because it's like held together by spit and spackle. So you have all this other junk going on. You got Mickey Loomis talking and saying, well, injuries, and we're waiting on guys to get back. No. And he's going to fight tooth and nail to try to keep the plan, which is to keep the players here that he's paid contracts for, keep them here as long as he can over the next 2 years. And then you get out of cap hell by just going through it begrudgingly. That's what Mickey Loomis's plan is. So when you hire a new coach, the new coach is going to come in. He is not going to have a lot of room to wiggle to fix the Saints. That's the mentality. Like, he's not going to have his own quarterback. He's going to be tied to Derek Carr. So, a lot of people come in, they want their own guys. And something, and from a contract standpoint, it's not going to happen. The Saints are not going to cut him because it don't benefit them to cut Derek Carr. So they're going to be tied into a lot of players. So when you need to restructure guys, who do you go to? If you look at the 25 numbers of the base salaries, the largest number is Derek Carr's $30 million. The second highest number is 18 for Ramczyk, who is a player that I don't believe is going to play again. So the Saints might be able to use a maneuver to get from up under Ryan Ramczyk's contract. That might free up in some money, but you're still 60-something million. Hell, let's say if the salary for the NFL goes up $20 million, it cuts you at 40 plus million. So you have 40 million. You still got to work back in the red 40 million to the black to be able to sign your players, re-sign certain players, whether it's Chase Young or Paulson Adebo or whatever. And then even to be able to go into free agency, if you can do that, to be able to sign some players that you can bring in, also freeing up money so you can sign your draft picks, stuff like that, stuff that keeps your team afloat. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is constructed. And the reason why I bring this all to focus to talk about is because when it comes down to vision about which way to go with your team, it all starts at the top with your general manager. That's what it all comes down to. So in the end, where do you go and what do you do? So that's why the question in the chat is what it is. Who do you think will be the GM in 2025? So Mickey Loomis is, 30, it done shifted just like that. 34% of the family members saying, man, listen, there need to be such and such. I'm not mad at y'all for that, man. The faith in Mickey Loomis is out of here. And the reason, because the faith in Mickey Loomis is out of here, because he's arrogant. He's a fake employee elitist. He berates the people. You're not qualified. Why would I listen to them? This kind of stuff. He even berates the reporters. Oh, that's lazy and unsophisticated. A lazy thing to do. That kind of stuff. Like, who the hell is this guy? Dude, you're an employee. You work for somebody else. What the hell you? Boy, you better be lucky Mickey ain't the president of the country. Could you imagine Mickey Loomis as the president of America? Boy, your ass is in trouble. Oh, that guy said that. Go over there and get him. Oh, hold on. I'll take him and go and get him. Bring him here. I want to talk to him right now. Tell him, come here. Go get him. Mickey be having all the weird looking people going out, picking up people that he'll bring them back to him, asking them questions. Hold on now. Where did you leave the clam chowder at? Well, hold on now, So it's just, he'll be a total tyrant. He's already not personable. He doesn't talk to any of the players. Y'all know that? Even the reporters have reported that about him. Mickey Loomis doesn't talk to the players. That should have gave you, I told y'all that last year. I told you that the year before that he don't talk to the players. That's why it was a big joke when he went down there after last year when Dennis Allen apologized to the Falcons. Mickey Loomis said he went down there and had a talk with the players. And I told y'all that time, like, the people not listening to, how you going to go have a talk with the players at the end of the season? Where was your stupid garbage talk prior to them losing them games? Hey, where the hell was Mickey? You going to bring it to current day? Where was Mickey Loomis' stupid ass talk when the Saints were falling through the floor on the 7-game losing streak? What was his stupid ass speech then? Guy's totally detached. He failed. He's a failure at the general manager position. He's not a real GM. I keep telling y'all that. He's not a real GM. Real GMs do their job every day. They evaluate every day. They don't sit up here and tell you in press conferences, hey, guys, I don't do, when we win emotional, so I only do my job. I don't evaluate when I'm happy. Well, when we win, I'm too happy to evaluate. When I lose, that's what he says. Win or lose, he doesn't do any evaluations. Isn't that obvious? You got fractures between the coach and the players. He's supposed to iron out the wrinkles. He's the general manager. He's supposed to act as a neutral party to iron out any disagreements inside of the building to keep everything cool and calm. Where the hell he was at when Marshawn and Elvin and everybody was mad about the losing? Where was he at? Why did he? You know where he was at? Every week he was making excuses about injuries. Well, it's injuries. That's why we're here. It's injuries. His default mechanism is injury. That's what he says. It's injuries. Why we're losing right now? Why we had to fire Dennis Allen? Because of stress and pressure, but injuries. That's what it was. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what the hell it is. It was injuries. And listen, Dennis Allen's a good coach. Dennis Allen, 3-9, 7-9. Yeah, you can't say that shit now. Huh? You can't talk about him. You can't break that bullshit ass sheet out your back pocket and start. Let me read him. Let me read. I was ready for you guys. Hold on. Chuck mode 6-7. Now you can't do that dumb shit no more, huh? What a clown, man. It's pathetic, man. But in the end, like I said, I wouldn't, with this guy saying, this the same people that said the same stuff that they said about Dennis Allen, that Dennis Allen was going to finish out the year. And I say, oh yeah, watch this. Y'all looking at it like this is something from the past where you can just do anything to the Who Dat Nation that you want to do. And I'm telling you, you're not doing that no more. I'm telling you, and I've been saying this now for a while, that a change has happened. That we not giving up our hard-earned money. You got to earn it. We're not giving it to you because you spoiled, you're rotten, you're arrogant, you're disrespectful, you're fat, you're bloated, and you're disgusting. And on top of that, you're a big dumbass loser. So in the end, we're not playing with y'all with this. The ride or die is also smart as hell. They don't tolerate disrespect from employee ass tyrants who want to sit up here and pretend like they something more than they not. Well, we flexed our power on your ass, didn't we? Huh? You want to keep that rotten possum on top of the team, but guess what? Guess who she listened to over you, and she been knowing you supposedly been given over fire by her husband to your ass, and guess who she listened to? The Who Dat Nation. We ran that possum out of here despite your wishes. And we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. Just like we got rid of the possum, you're going to get a change too. We're not playing. You know why? Because we know our power. We know where our power resides. And as long as they want this, you're going to behave. You're going to act right. That's the message. And I'm so very happy that it's spreading. And we changing some narratives, Who Dat Nation. Let me tell y'all something. We changing narratives. We're changing narratives out there. They say, oh, well, Q, they're going to do whatever they want to do. They ain't going to listen to the people. Oh, yeah, look what the hell happened. I've been telling y'all that, man. We're not playing with these people no more with this bullshit. You're going to win or you're not going to get this. You're going to get your ass up out of here. That's what you're going to get. And they think it's a game. So we email, you call, and we stay on their necks. And this will happen. We get what we get because I understand the power. This is all that shit fake. They get everything from you. If you didn't give them nothing, them people probably would starve to death, man. All they know how to do is come to you. They come to you for everything. We just generous to a fault. Being a ride or die don't mean to being a big dumbass that give your money to people that's disrespecting you and not trying to put out a good product to earn your money. Family, let them make them earn it. And do not be quick to run back to them because they win a few games here or there. Make them do this over a long period of time with a list of demands. Just like our demand was to get rid of that funky possum, we got them up out of here, backstabbing and doing weird ass shit. Got them up out of here. Apologizing to Falcons. Sit up here apologizing to the Falcons, and he ain't never apologized for you for one goddamn stinking ass loss he had here. None of them apologized. Did Mickey Loomis apologize to him? Or you to how he hired this bastard? He never apologized for that. Still calling him a great. Oh, he's a great coach. Idiot, chump, moron, simpleton. But in the end, at the end of the day, a ride or die does not mean that you some dumbass person that just going to give your money regardless of what the product is. We don't play that, man. We don't play that. We're not doing that anymore. You're going to earn this money. You're going to earn it the right way, or we going to shut you down. Bottom line, we ain't playing with your ass no more. Enough's enough. Anyway, fam, listen, let me take a few questions from the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Much love to the fam. I just wanted to talk at y'all right quick on some stuff. If y'all got some questions, I see y'all. What's up, Jasper? Shout out to you, fam. What's up, Chantel, baby? Good to see you, brother Gundams in this thing. All my day ones in this piece. Much love. GM Kev. Much love. Say Mike Hoss gave Mickey kudos. We talked about that, brother. He gave him kudos. Mike Hoss gave Mickey Loomis kudos. Let me say that again. Mike Hoss, who's the softest, spineless Saints reporter, and our reporters are the bomb. That I've for the last couple of years, I've been giving our reporters the just nothing but love because we have the best reporters here. I believe we got some really good ones. But the one dude that I don't like is this Mike Hoss dude, because Mike Hoss basically sold his soul to get that job. And he sits up there. He don't ask questions. He just rambles on and just, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's very weird, but some kind of way just said some dumbness about giving Mickey Loomis kudos for something pertaining to the Saints. And I had to pause and it says, what are you talking about? The Saints are 4-8. What are you giving them kudos for? What kind of kudos are you talking about? What are you doing? But it's just kudos because this is a sucker. He's a sycophant. This is a brown noser. That's a brown noser. And you know, just because you work for somebody don't mean you need to stick your nose in a place where it gets brown. Okay. Did you catch that? You don't have to put, and I don't want to be too graphic on it, but the reason why they call brown noses is for a reason. They put their nose somewhere where it's going to get some brown. All right. Let me understand you. Let me get that clear. But listen, man. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right. So big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. What's up, Ro? Good to see you in there. Smoke Dog. Good to see you. He said Loomis needs to be gone. Stop playing. Yeah. Mickey Loomis, bro, let me tell you something. If we had a real president, and see, listen, I'm going to say it again. Just don't focus on Mickey Loomis. We have a whole stinking president of the Saints on top of the team. We have a whole stinking president on top of this team. His name is Dennis Lauscher. So it's always this the talking point, I guess, for lack of better words, is to go ahead and make it Loomis. And I understand it, but I want to add somebody else to the stinking ass party, and that's Dennis Lauscher. So put Lauscher and Loomis together. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again until it becomes what it's supposed to be. He is the highest ranked member of the New Orleans Saints executive team, not named Gail Benson. He is literally the right-hand man of Gail Benson. He is Mickey Loomis's boss. So with that being said, Lauscher needs to be in just really focused. For whatever reason, everybody gives him a pass. I don't care. He's the president of the Saints. He's the president of football operations for the Saints. The vice president is Mickey Loomis, and he's the general manager as well. Mickey Loomis is. This guy is not pulling his weight. Lauscher or Loomis, they're not pulling it. So when we say, change needs to happen, we need to keep Lauscher and Loomis in the same area. When we're talking about change needs to happen, we need to put Lauscher out there with Loomis too. Let's remember to do that, please, because change has to happen at the top. The first thing that I would really want to do is find another I got some streams that's coming out, I think this week, where I have some ideas that I'm going to share with the family members. We're going to put it on Patreon first, but there's some ideas in terms of this. But I've said this all too well, with a few moves, the Saints can turn around their the IQ of the executive side, because there's only one person that's at the top and that level on that side. That's Mickey Loomis, operating way up there. And Dennis Lauscher is the second man. Loomis is second. I mean, the first man underneath the woman. And the second dude with power is Mickey Loomis. And he has two positions, with the VP and general manager position. He doesn't need to have both of them. You need to be that GM position needs to be stripped away. So you're not going to fire him because he does have a bit of job security. So there's no firing here of Mickey Loomis. Let's be very clear of that. Unless something terribly happens, or he has a health scare, or something terribly happens, the relationship with him and Gail disintegrates to the point where she's like, it's best for Mickey Loomis just to go. That kind of thing, which I don't see that happening. You never know. We'll monitor it. But at the same time, realistically speaking, Dennis Lauscher should be moved off the president's position because he's out. He's not qualified to be no football president. He's not. or the pro basketball team. He's doing the same thing with the pro basketball team. He's doing the same bullshit there. He doesn't know pro ball. He doesn't know pro football. The man is a businessman. He knows how to go out and talk to people, meet with them, create a title for him on that side. But this other stuff with the football operations, get that away from him ASAP. That needs to change. And that's some of the requests that you have, or the demands rather that you have for them to get your money back. Like, man, we're not respecting, because listen, even if they talking about hiring a new coach, that don't fix what we got. We got a problem with Mickey Loomis. He doesn't come with any oversight. If whoever you hire, Mickey Loomis is not going to have any oversight. We need somebody there with oversight that's going to be there to make sure they stay on top of the team. We don't need to hire any more coaches until we understand that Mickey Loomis needs to be stripped of his general manager position. You can keep the VP job because that's how he operates, but the general manager position, he needs to be stripped of that. He ain't going to want to do it because he's an attention whore that sits up there and he likes to stand in front of the press and talk to him when he wants to talk to him and stay in the spotlight, even though he don't need to be there. But at the end of the day, he needs to be stripped away of that general manager job, and the president, which is Lauscher, that job needs to be pulled away from him. He needs to be rebranded something else, like the chief business person or whatever you want to call the dude. But at the end of the day, that job needs to be stripped away. And you need to find you a real president of football operations, a guy that was a former player, that's not just any player, but a guy that's like the best idea I can do is John Lynch. He was he played at a high level as a player, and he went through the NFL executive program and he became a general manager. That type of player. And I'm pretty sure they got some options out there. That's where you start, and also stripping away the general manager and giving it to Kai Hartley. I'm for that, and let Kai find his own head coach without always talking about, hey man, let's go and find somebody we dealt with before. No, we need to break that. That's Mickey Loomis old ass bullshit thinking. He keep doing the same thing over and over again because he can't counter up any imaginative new movements that can happen, because he old fuddy-duddy. We need to get him, in terms of him, we need to stop that. We need to break that trend, because I don't trust his decisions. He's not accountable, and he don't know what he's doing in that world. So, and I already know that a lot of the stuff that we giving him credit for in terms of with the Sean Payton style was all Sean Payton, man. All Sean Payton. Sean Payton was telling him what to do, and he was doing it. He was a gopher. He's a good gopher, but he doesn't come with any imagination. He don't come with anything else. And when you challenge his ideas, he gets pissed off. That's why you need to get the hell out of here. You can't be pissed off with us when you fail and we're mad at your failure. You can't be pissed off at us. That's why you need to get your ass off that general manager position. You go sit your ass in the VP office with the door closed all day. We need somebody that can go out here and talk to these players and mitigate and iron out wrinkles between coaches and players, and not just sit in your office while the goddamn team burn on a 7-game losing streak. But that's a general manager. That ain't no general manager. Chantel says, Q, why don't the Saints try to get Ben Johnson from Detroit? I think he would be a good coach. Saints need a Mike Tomlin type coach. I'm for that. Ben Johnson would be an excellent choice. Thank you, Chantel.
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
Thank you, Chantel. Appreciate that, Queen. But this is the thing with the Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's going to have options. There's a lot of teams out there. He's going to have options. And the Saints are not as an attractive destination as we would like to believe that they are, just to be honest with you. They're not. The Saints, whoever takes the Saints will be saddled with Derek Carr. He's not going anywhere. They're going to be cash strapped because next year the Saints are going to have to renegotiate contracts to free up revenue so they can be able to even participate in free agency. And whatever they do is probably not going to be a lot of free agency stuff going on, which means it'll tie them up. Like from a money perspective, whoever's coming here, they'll be straddled or tamped down with Mickey Loomis' bad decisions over the next couple of years with money, right? And in the third year, you'll see the money go up. By that time, all these guys will be gone. All of the Taysums and the DeMarios, the Cam Jordans, and all these guys, they'll be off the team. So you have basically a new team anyway. What this was a last-ditch effort to try to get to the playoffs. This is not even something about a championship. This was just an attempt to get to the playoffs. Like I said, if you go down to the Saints facility, and I've been down there I don't know how many times, you go down to Airline, they still got that old ass faded ass emblem of when they won the Super Bowl. Y'all remember that? It's the orange and blue symbol that sit on the front of the practice facility, the indoor aspect of it on the front of the building. You see, it's that old faded ass thing. That I looked at that, I was like, man, that's just indicative of what the Saints are. They're still trying to live off that old ass Super Bowl that they won all them years ago. They don't even talk about winning those Super Bowls. They don't even say it. They don't say it's like saying Candyman 3 times in the window on a stormy night. You know, that's what they saying. That's how it is. That's how they play the game. They don't talk about winning no championships. They don't talk about it. Y'all, when the last time you heard the Saints say, we're gonna win, we trying to win the Super? I'm talking about the Saints people, the coaches, the head coach, the general manager say, man, we about winning Super Bowls here. We gonna go this type. When you ever heard him say that? When you heard that? When the last time you heard that? You don't hear that because these people make money. It's too tough for them to get that busy for them to be competing to try to beat other teams out. As long as they get into the playoffs, they believe that that'll quiet you down just enough so they can keep making money. You think it's a game? You think it's a game? I'm not kidding you, man. That's when money gets in the way of what you as a supporter has expectations for your team. That's when money gets in the way. From a business standpoint, you know, they're living off the lust of this old ass Super Bowl. That's been years ago. Years ago. And the Saints haven't come close to even getting that. I mean, they had the junk that happened with the Rams, but at the end of the day, the no call wasn't the reason why you lost that game. Even Sean Payton said that. When you get out your emotions about it, go listen to the interviews, because we was playing them on the show at the time. Go listen to what Sean Payton was saying. He said after the no call, he's like, man, really, that's not the reason why we lost the game. Like, really, Q? Y'all don't, fam, listen, I don't forget. Remember Adam Troutman dropped that, not Adam Troutman, what's the boy name? The tight end, that big goofy ass tight end we had. He went to the Rams. What's that guy name, man? Kevin, who's that guy? Put him in the chat. Y'all know who it is. Remember the guy, the tight end dropped the touchdown pass. It went right through his stupid ass hands. What's the guy name, man? I forgot the tight end we had. But he was a bum. We got rid of him. Was that Kobe Fleener? Well, no, it wasn't Kobe Fleener. It was an undrafted tight end. Dan Arnold. There you go. There you go. OG called it. There you go. Dan Arnold. He dropped a touchdown pass in that game. An easy one. Went right through his hands. Sean Payton was saying that he coached too conservative. On downs where he should have went for it on 4th down, he was playing too conservative, and McVay wasn't. McVay was going for it on them 4th downs. Sean Payton said that. And at first I was a little upset because I didn't like the call, but in the end I listened to Coach Payton and he was right. Like, that's not the reason we lost this game. That's not the reason. Some bitch dropped a touchdown pass, man. In there, I was like, look at this. When you see that happen in the playoff game, you don't drop touchdown passes in no playoff games, man. You don't do that. When they did that, that was a bad omen. And then Sean Payton, like, he was right. On 4th downs, he wasn't going for it. Like, that man, the Rams was playing like they wanted it more than the Saints. And Coach Payton said he was too conservative in that game. That's what Coach Payton said. I agree with him. But Dan Arnold dropped a touchdown pass. That's what the hell happened. But yeah, so I mean, like I'm saying, but anyway, man, all I'm saying at the end of the day is we living off of that. That's old and been, that's a era gone. That's an era gone. We need to compete and we need to keep it real. We're not competing like we're supposed to. You know, we in trouble. We in trouble. We got this guy don't have any vision, you know, and he basically tamped us down money. So I don't know, Ben Johnson would be an interesting coach, but it's a lot more attractive destinations than the Saints, man. They got teams with money, and he'll have the ability to pick his own coach or work with his own quarterback, or work with his, money and his own quarterback. And that's very attractive to people with options, you know. Like, if you're a good looking person, you got options. You don't have to settle for some moose. You don't have to settle for a camel. You know what I'm saying? You're a good looking woman. You don't have to, you got options. You know what I'm saying? You got stuff going for you. You got options. You know, you're successful. You know what I'm saying? All this kind of good stuff. You got options. You don't have to settle for some camel. You have to settle for that. You got options. All right. Anyway, big ups to the fan. What's up, Ramsey Service Secure? We need to petition Gail Benson to fire Mickey Loomis. She's not going to fire him, but I wouldn't waste your time on that, brother. All I would do is they know you don't like them. They know you want them up out of there. They know that. I would recommend that your list of demands come with a shifting of the organization and come with some solution. Don't just say stink and he sucks, which they do, and they know we believe that. Solution is hashtag new Saint GM Kai Harley. You know, hashtag new Saints president. That type of stuff. You know, that's the answer. You know, to move him out of here, because it's not a foregone conclusion. The guy been up there for 20 something odd years, man. At some point, you got to get out of the way, man. You got to move on. And if he's too stupid to realize that he really is that stupid, he don't realize that his decisions are hurting the team, then, you know, that guy's far gone anyway. He's far gone. That guy's far gone. His judgment is so bad that he done lost any respect and untarnished whatever little reputation he had. You know, his decisions and how he was protecting Dennis Allen, still calling him a great coach and all this bullshit. Get out of here. Brian says dysfunctional franchise do. Yeah, you're right. Dysfunctional. Yeah. And it's the same. And I'm going to tell you something. It is dysfunctional because it's happening with the Pelicans. Pelicans are a 4-win team right now. Aren't they 4 wins? The Saints are 4 wins and the Pelicans 4 wins. I just realized that shit. Actually, I say it, but then when you see it, I mean, hold on. In the Saints are 4-8 and the Pelicans. The goddamn Pelicans is what? 4-18. You tell me that's some shit. The same ownership group runs both squads. The Saints are 4-8 on the season, and the Pelicans are 4-18. You can't make this up, man. How you a 4-win football team? You 4-8 as a football team and 4-18 as a basketball team. That is funny and sad all at the same time, baby. Devin says, won't Harley still get advice from head coach from Loomis? Nah, he's not a meddler like that. That's the one thing you could say that's good about Mickey Loomis, that even though he's a self-centered jerk, he's not a meddler. That's one thing. He will let you do your job. And that's the problem. He'll do it to a fault. He'll go somewhere and that's what happened with Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen was over his head. And he's still, you know, not going in there, checking him, not making sure he's doing, not just listening to him, but go talk to your players. He wasn't doing none of that. Kai Hartley would do that. Kai Hartley is the exact opposite. He will meet with the players. He will talk to people. He got a good sense of personality there. He knows the culture. He knows the people. Give him an opportunity, see what he can do. You know, and from what I'm hearing, he does a lot of the things Mickey Loomis does with contracts and all that. So, I mean, he knows the game. It's time to let him have an opportunity to take it. Gundam says zero vision, doing the same thing over and over again. Breeze and Peyton covered a lot of pitfalls. They really did. Curly says Drew Brees as a QB coach. I'm not against that, Curly. That would be a good idea if you can get Drew attached. I've often said I would love to have Drew Brees connected to the Saints in some form or fashion, whether he's a QB coach or an offensive assistant, something to that degree. I think Drew, I don't know if you get Drew with that, because Drew's a dude, you got to pay him money. Drew about his money. Remember, Drew Brees never gave the Saints a pay cut until I think it was the last contract he had with the Saints that he gave him a pay cut on. Drew Brees he didn't believe in no pay cuts. He wanted all his money. You know, Drew Brees wanted all his money. The last contract he had with the Saints, he gave him a pay cut on it. That last one. But all them other contracts, man, Loomis said, Drew was all about his paper. And I ain't mad at him for it, mind you, but you know, at the end of the day, you gotta pay him because he got all these different businesses and all this other stuff. He got the commentating job he does. He makes money like how he wants to make money. So if you're going to bring him in, you got to pay him, if he'll take it. English says, Mickey said him and Gail talk every day. A week later, she fired Allen. This is the riff Loomis wants to hide. He was lying about that, bro. And I called that out. Good comment on that, English. Remember we covered this in the stream. We talked about it. He said it in the interview with Mike Hoss. He said, man, he asked her a decent question that time. He said, are you communicating, talking to Gail Benson? That was the second best question he asked. The first best question he asked was to Mickey Loomis, who evaluates you? And you know what Mickey Loomis's answer was? I don't know. He literally said, I don't know, because ain't nobody evaluating them. It's a joke. That's why the team's a joke. It ranges from so above, so below. That's the old great biblical term, so above, so below. The saints are trash at the top, such they trash at the bottom. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he lied about that. Not the fact that he talked to him every day. It's the fact that if she was asking about what's going on with the team, and he was telling her, oh, well, the injuries is the reason why they lose, and that we're gonna stay. If the Saints fired Dennis Allen earlier, 2 games early, things might be different. They waited. He had to be forced out after a 7-game losing streak. The players on social media, tweeting about stuff. It got out of hand. It got to the point where it had to become a circus for him to fight. He didn't really want to do it. If it was up to him, Dennis Allen would still be. That's how stupid that guy is. I told y'all, the guy's out of his mind, man. He doesn't need to be running anything. Kev says most people push for Vrabel to be the next head coach. I see that, bro. I'm not really big on the Vrabel thing. I want an offensive minded coach. I'm gonna just be honest with you, man. I want an offensive minded coach. I think defensively we'll be okay, but I want more of an offensive minded coach. We've been having so many struggles offensively speaking. I would much prefer to have a head coach that is very smart on the offensive side, or a guy like a Flores, like a Flores that got all these other great attributes, like he's a good communicator, young coach with a lot of energy. Reminds me a lot of D'Amico Ryans with Houston. Reminds me a lot of them. Very sharp, very smart. Interviewed here, was really, really solid. Got a raw job with Miami when the owner was trying to tamper to get Tom Brady there. Remember that? And then he was telling them to lose games and all that. So the guy had to sue him and all that. He didn't get a fair opportunity in Miami. He had to sue the league behind that. He didn't get blackballed. He still was able to coach. But this guy is reputable. And I'm saying he comes with a great degree of integrity. You know how much integrity that takes for him to sue the NFL like that? You understand what I'm saying here? That takes integrity, man. Unlike some people in the game, unlike some people that they don't have any integrity. They got this mobile integrity, as it's called. Listen, fam, let me tell y'all something, man. Be very mindful of people, because not everybody the same. And also remember this. Do not try to take your belief system and superimpose it on somebody else. Not saying that you're doing it forcefully. What I mean by that is, don't subconsciously say, okay, because you do this, they're going to do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? Don't do that. Because some of these people out here, they'll sell their body, their ass, everything for money, for whatever. They don't have any integrity. They don't have any integrity. They don't have any morals. They got, and some of them pretend they put on a strong face, but a lot of times, a lot of these people have this weird mobile integrity, fake integrity moral system where it floats here and there. It comes and goes, and it's applicable whenever the situation arises. It comes and goes like the wind. It's like a mobile integrity. It's not a rock solid embedded thing like you have, which when we talked about foundation. Foundation is something that's in the ground that you can build on, meaning if the wind push up against it, or it's something that's tested. It's not built on sand. It's not a house of cards. You're unmovable, unshakable. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking. That they got a lot of those rock solid people in the world where no matter what comes against them, whether they get divorced or whatever, I don't care what happened. People lie on them or whatever. They just, they take all of it and they strong in here. They're tested. They're diamonds. They ain't some bastard out here giving it up just to get some money or some position and sell a soul. And then next thing you know, they taking pills and drinking because they can't deal with how they got what they got. I'm just telling you, a lot of that goes on, especially in not just with these weird ass entertainers and all these weird ass celebrity people that climb up there the wrong way. If you do what you're supposed to do and you belong there, you'll get there. But they cheat. So what I say that is, man, you just understand and know that guy did that. That guy put his career on the line. He could have took that money from that rotten owner over there. He could have did that. That's why I got all the respect in the world for Brian Flores, because how many people would have did that? Huh? How would they just been the get along game? That guy was, he blew the whistle and told all that stuff on them and then went and sued them. That was wrong. And then put the teams in the crossfire that was doing that, abusing the Rooney Rule. And when he did that, all the other coaches came out behind him and got on that lawsuit. He did that. I doubt if he'd had done that, any of them goddamn guys would have opened their mouth up about that injustice. But he did that. And then he did that, and still he's in the NFL coaching. That's integrity, man. That's integrity. That's more than I could say than this ugly ass possum we had on sitting on top of the team doing weird shit. So in the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, bro, all I'm saying is, man, we need to get somebody here with that type of integrity. It ain't gonna take no for an answer. Who knows that he sees some stuff happen. I gotta be the coach. I gotta go out and iron this stuff out of here. I recognize this guy over here. He can't play. Let me get his ass up out of here. Let me get this judo dude, this Ali judo cat up out of here because he ain't doing shit. Let me get your ass up out of here. You gone. Let me get this other guy out of here. Let me get some people in here that can really help us. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right. Anyway, let me keep it moving. Let me get ready to get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, I like that though, man. But I like having some, fam, think about it. You want somebody up here that's a leader. You want somebody up here that's rock steady, that's gonna do not only that's a leader, but somebody that's a good communicator. That ain't gonna grab somebody's stomach when they cursing at them. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna be apologizing to them when they know if the situation was switched, they'd be doing the same thing to them. You see what I'm saying? We don't need somebody out here. Guy walking up to him, cussing him. He gets close up to him and grab both sides of his stomach, some weird shit like that, and tell him he right. And then proceeds to throw his team under the bus and apologize to the team's most hated rival. Even James Hurst said, man, when Mickey Loomis came in there, he thought they was going to fire Dennis Allen right then and there. But instead, he got behind Dennis Allen to the chagrin of the team. And he spoke about that being the moment that fractured the team. Then they started lying. Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen was lying every day up from that point, saying there's no fractures and all that. Just lies, just garbage, trash, filth. But anyway, man, that's what we want here. It's time to get these bums out of here, man. We done gave these guys an opportunity. We tired of this losing. It's not that damn hard when you do what you're supposed to do. We see teams winning all the time. Earl says, to be honest, I'd like to see Kubiak as an OC again next season with a healthy offense and not dealing with all these issues. He's dealt with a depleted O-line, including our star center and 2 wide receivers that are. Well, Earl, I understand. He says, but we did we do? He says, but what did we did on weeks 1 and weeks 2? We crushed teams and dominated. This is the thing. You're right. Weeks 1 and weeks 2, you dominated 2 teams. You beat a Carolina team that wasn't hitting on nothing. You beat a Dallas Cowboy team that was struggling. You beat the hell out of them, right? That's true, Earl. You did. Very, very true. But at the end of the day, very rarely in the NFL, you're going to get a full season with all your players healthy. It's just not going to happen. What you're talking about is not a reality. Now, I appreciate weeks 1 and weeks 2, But at the end of the day, there's no there's no reality where you're going to have 100% of your team for a full year. It doesn't work like that. And as the offensive coordinator, he has to adjust and adapt to that reality. And if he can't, then he'll need to be running his team. In my estimation, I did like what he did in weeks 1 and weeks 2, but he could not even do like his whatever he was doing then, he couldn't even do it now. And you saying it was injuries. Listen, fam, if guys are not doing what they're supposed to do, there's only one answer for that. That's getting them out of here and getting other guys that will do what they got to do. We got money here. We're gonna pay you. We gotta get you out of here. And no offensive coordinator gonna have 100% of his offense for the majority of the time. Every team is gonna deal with injuries. You're gonna lose people. You're gonna lose your running backs, your wide receivers, your tight ends, your offensive linemen. You're gonna lose them. But you have to be able to adapt to the people you pick. Like you pick whoever these guys, these backup guys is, you pick those guys. That means that you have to get those guys to work when those other guys are not there. And the best way around that is you have to be able to get everybody involved. And he hadn't been able to do that. What Clint Kubiak does is he gets lazy on his play calling. Me personally, I don't want to see him back here next year. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't want to see him because he can't adapt and he can't adjust. That's one thing. And when people was telling them, even the reporters was telling them about over usages of player, that's a trait that means you're a lazy play caller. Don't you see how vanilla his plays are? You mean just because we have these handful of guys here, and by the way, them guys, we've been having them guys, they've been here since summertime. You know how many practices that is that we've had these guys here? We can't run the same 15 plays over and over. say 15 plays. Boy, I was about to tear up everything if I seen that play where Carr runs out as a wide receiver and takes. I'm so sick of that play. We run that play like 2 or 3 times a game. I'm tired of that. It's like the same plays, like the same 12, 14, 15 plays. I don't even think it's that many of them over and over again. I'm like, dude, we got 5 games left to go in the year. You mean to tell me that we don't have no new wrinkles, that we keep doing the same shit over and over again? Nah, brother. I respect what you're saying, fam, but at the end of the day, I think it's time for him to go, bro. Oh no. That dude, like I said, when he showed me everything, and remember my nursery rhyme when Taysom's away, Kent Clue or whatever his name is, Clint Kubiak can't call a play. Remember my little nursery rhyme I kept saying through the whole year? When Taysom's away, Clint Kubiak can't call a play. You know why? Because Clint Kubiak over relies on players as opposed to get everybody involved. That's what he does. Instead of using fullback, just put Taysom there. Instead of using the tight end, just put Taysom there. And I'm like, dude, put Taysom at the wide receiver position. You don't have a complement to MVS. Just play him at wide receiver. You got a fullback. Play the goddamn fullback. You got a backup running back. Use your damn backup running back. What's up, man? Why we got to do all of this with this guy? What's up with that? You know, he just can't come up. And we got reporter asked him, hey, man, back-to-back questions last week about the overusage of Taysom Hill. Is there any what was the word they used? Is there any concerns for overusage? What did he say? What did he say? He said no. I'm like, the reporter asked him again. Hey man, you know, such and such. Oh well, I think he'll be fine. All this. I'm like, dog, hey, stupid. You know, the man still has broken ribs, right? His broken ribs didn't go away. He's just getting pain shots. Even when he had the broken ribs, when he first got the goddamn rib issue, same as Elvin. They don't list them on the injury report and they don't heal. These people are not Wolverine. They don't have mutant healing factor. They're not healing that fast. They're operating with painkillers, pain shots, cortisone shots, industrial strength. So it don't matter if you got broken ribs or you banged up to hell, just go ahead and still run them into the ground. Just run them into the ground. Never mind the fact that you got a fullback, another running back, you got another wide receiver, you got another tight end. You still got all these other people. Never mind the fact you're supposed to be decoying Taysom and Elvin Kamara. They don't have to be focalized to running backs or wide receiver. You can move them all over the place and use other players to give them opportunities. Never mind that shit. Nah, we just gonna run Taysom Hill in the ground. Now we don't have Taysom. Now what you gonna do? Overuse Alvin Kamara, Q? Of course. Nah, he done. He could. I done seen enough of this dude. That's a one hit quitter on Clint Kubiak to me, bro. He can't adjust, dog. He can't adjust. And when confronted with the facts of what he needs to do, even Dennis Allen said that, man, we need to use more guys in our offense. And what did he do? The next game didn't do shit. Even Dennis Allen told him that in the press conference when he told everybody we need to get other guys involved. He didn't do it. Man, that guy is history, man. No disrespect, Earl. I know you liked him, man. But dude, that's a one quitter. That's a one hitter quitter on that guy. People saying Q, make him a coach. That dude ain't ready to be nobody coach, man. They'll run him up out of. He can't adjust. He can't adapt. Whatever offensive scheme that he thought he was going to install here, he don't even do double motions. At first, he was doing double motion, triple motion. You watch the Rams offense. The Rams offense is similar to the Saints offense. Very similar to the Saints offense. You've seen them using double motion, stuff like that going on, and the Saints don't even do that. They got a basic offense that almost to a degree looked like what we were running last year, with a little bit more uptick in pace. But outside of that, man, I'm just keeping it real, bro. I think I'm done on Kubiak, bro. He can't. He can't. He refuses, and I ain't gonna say can't. He refuses to get other guys involved consistently. He cannot do it. He cannot do it. We got MVS running around here. Why are we not? If you're trying to get opportunities for MVS, you got to move him around the field, create mismatches, maybe give him the ball like a running back. Got all that speed, get him involved, that type of thing. We can't get him involved consistently. And he's a force. Can't get him involved. We don't have no complement on the outside. We got young Kevin Austin Jr. We got Pettis to return, man, but we had weeks in between. We had the off season. We could have went out there in free agency and found somebody and got them ready to come in here and contribute. We could have done something weeks ago. We don't have to just rely on it. We could have done other things to get some more help so we could try to keep winning. We didn't have to sit on our hands and say, well, we got everything we need. No, you don't. Obviously, we don't. We a 4-win team. You got players on this team that don't belong here, fam. That's why you're a 4-win team. It's not just the injuries. You got players on this team that are not supposed to be here. You got players on this team that can't block consistently. Guys that can't tackle consistently. Guys that, they can't catch the ball consistently. These guys don't need to be on your team, bro. And like I said, Clint Kubiak showed me enough. I'm done with Clint, for real. Can't adjust, bro. And I've seen too much tape on him, bro. I don't need to see a ton of tape. I was doing the Patreon all 22, watching Clint Kubiak's offense with pre-scripted throws. It just hurts Derek Carr. Like, let them, and it's not like Carr's reading the field anyway. It's like you go and watch the film. There are opportunities there, but you can see these are pre-scripted passes in which he'll turn and he don't even read. He'll just turn and fire it to wherever Taysom is, or turn and fire it to wherever Elvin is. He don't even read the field. It's a pre-designed play where he just hikes the ball and throws it wherever Elvin is or Taysom is. Crazy part about it is on some of the plays where he was actually reading, they had plays downfield, but he wasn't looking that way. He was looking on check downs. And there were good protection, but he didn't have enough patience to even allow the play to develop for him to take a shot downfield consistently. You're not reading the field right. And I'm like, we 5 games in the season. That's a big problem. He ain't fixed that with the man. Dude, please, man. Nah, I'm good. I'm straight on that guy. We good. All right. Max says Kevin Austin needs more targets than he's been doing well, bro. I got to give it to him. He with all the injuries, the man is making some plays. He's blocking. Got to get him more involved. You got to get him involved. He says, Earl says, I understand that he's repetitive time, but that's even a saying in football. It's not the X and O's, it's Jimmy and the Joes. Nah, bro. Who's controlling the Jimmy and the Joes? Who called for the Jimmy and the Joes? See, it all goes back to him. See, I can't give him a pass. Not when you can in control of that. Like if this guy is not block. Like I said, bro, I'm hardcore because I have to be. I'm 4-8. I can't be all, oh yeah, we this, that, and the third. No, I can't do that. We're 4-8. I'm figuring out a way how we need to do what we need to do. I don't have patience for guys that can't block or catch, and they supposed to be professionals. I don't have patience for you. We're 4-8. We need to win a game here. We need to win a game here. And I would have stripped him of his play calling duties when Dennis Allen was fired. That would have been a part of my changes to the team. Like when Rizzy came in, he demoted Grantham from the defensive line coach, put Brian Young, the pass rush guy, there over the defensive line. Joe Woods over the defense, totally his. He made changes to the special teams. Galliano obviously took over the special teams court. He made a few other changes there. Brought a guy in that he knew. So he made changes to two of the three units, didn't do nothing to the offense. I would have made a change from the play calling perspective because the offense, they pinning it on injuries. That's the key thing is always injury. You're not going to have an offense that's totally healthy all the time. Like, look, for instance, the Saints just got back McCoy. Like, McCoy came back, and they had another guy came back, and at first they looked like they had all these starters back, and then they got hurt again. And I was telling people, I was like, fam, they don't work like that in real life. You're going to get guys back. Some guys, it's no guarantee that the guy that was hurt before you get him back, he's going to be healthy. That's Lucas Patrick. That's Nick Seldeveri. That was Taysom Hill. Taysom was banged up, missed some games. He came back banged up. He's gone now for the season. We've seen it happen with Chris Olave in and out with him getting hurt. We've seen it happen with players over and over again. They'll come in and then leave. They'll come in and leave. And you have to be able to construct the depth chart to be able to deal with it. It's not like somebody else is giving you a team and say, he'll win with this. He has say on who is on his offense. That was what Dennis Allen gave him. He gave him the ability to pick whoever he had, his offensive lineman. He had total control over that entire offense. That's what they did. That offense is architected by Clint Kubiak. That's why I don't give him a pass. It's not like he was there and then everything was in place and you had to do this, that, and the third. No. That's his offense. He had total control over that entire offense when he came here. He picked all of those coaches, all of those guys, all these other guys, and I like them. He picked all of those guys to be underneath him over there. He picked those players. He picked those linemen. He picked those skill players, all his picks, and you can't use them consistently. That don't fall exclusively on the player. That's you. It's how you use them. He's not getting value out of it is what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, nah. The next guy come in, let him go and find his own man, bro, because the accountability aspect of what he was bringing, it faded away. It really did. His accountability and all this other garbage that he was talking about, it faded away because you got guys in there that couldn't even block. I mean, I understand if you're a backup offensive lineman, you get beat. We know that, but most offensive linemen in the NFL have to be able to run block. And them guys couldn't even run block. We still in the game watching the last game, watch guys miss blocks or block guys that they shouldn't have blocked. It's I don't understand. I don't get it, but it is what it is, right? You're 4-8 club. So I don't know, man. No, it's not. No, he's not utilizing them, Earl. Earl, what are you talking about? You're not utilizing them. It's not too much talent. It's not a too much talent thing, man. It's not the talent. It's not that at all. He's not doing it. I don't see what is. I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know what's going on with it ain't hard to figure out. None of this is deep. It's not too much talent. He's not doing anything with the talent that he has. How do you have Jamal Williams there, but don't give him no runs? And he a north-south running back. I don't get that. There's a better usage for Taysom Hill than to use him as a fullback when you got a fullback. Prentice is doing a good job this year as a fullback. He actually is. Years prior, I didn't really like Prentice, but this year he stepped up. He's been having a solid year as a fullback. Taysom would be better used as a wide receiver. I mean, we don't have anything going on, right? We got Kevin Austin, who's young, trying to learn, but outside of that, you got Cedric Wilson Jr. Why is he on the team? We had better usages of players. It's not the fact that, you know, that is too much talent to use. He's not using them. Your talent is centralized to 2 guys, 3 guys. No, man, that's not it at all. The tape don't even agree with what you're saying. The Saints are not a talentless team. And I've often said that the problem is the coaches are not using the talent correctly. That's the same thing that happened with Zach Bowen, and the same thing happened with players that leave here and go and ball. Same thing. They go somewhere else and ball because they know how to use these players, and the Saints do not. There is no reason why Jamal Williams, who's healthy, shouldn't have at least had 5 carries in the game. At least 5 carries in complement of Elvin. There's no reason why we need to overload these players when you can decoy them as well and get good value out of these guys. No reason why Jordan Mims shouldn't be involved when he's a scat back guy that catches the ball like a wide receiver who has good speed that can run inside and outside. A guy like a Jamal that's a north-south running. There's an aspect of the game you can use him in the second half of the game when defenses are tired. Run Jamal Williams at him. Decoy Elvin. Decoy Taysom. This is nothing new because other teams do this. When the Rams did this. The Rams used both their little running backs. They used Williams and Corum and battle ram the Saints. They use both their running backs in combination because they know that if you have 2 different styles of runners, that the defense has to adjust to those 2 styles of runners, so you could keep the defense off balance by doing that. You hit them with the speed, you hit them with the power, you keep them off balance that way. And the Saints don't use that. And in particular, it is Clint Kubiak. He doesn't do that. He just doesn't do it. He gets lazy. And he wants to move and put Taysom here. He wants to put him over here. He wants to put him over here. And then you got a fullback, a wide receiver, a tight end that's on the team getting paid, not getting used. So I mean, I can't say that. Man, no, bro. You get paid to change. So I don't know, man. I just think I hear what you're saying on that, man. But now you just won't sway my opinion on Clint Kubiak because I've seen enough. I got my opinion is concrete on him. I've seen enough stats and tape on him to understand what kind of dude this is. This dude refuses to, I'm like, dude, it's right in front of him. He refuses to do it. Even when reporters ask him that, he refuses to do anything else but what he's been doing, which is not working. You got to create and do something else, and he just can't do it. And then on top of that, your offenses can't consistently score. I mean, we score, look like by mistake. We hit a guy here or do this, that, and the third. We hear like the ref stole a touchdown off the board from the Saints, but at the same time, the Saints they didn't have to give up on that draw. With that draw run, they could have tried to fight to get that yardage back. They didn't have to give up on the draw. You see what I'm saying? But it said at the end of the day, man, that's what 4-8 teams do. There's a reason why we're 4-8, and it's not necessarily talent. It's what we're doing with the guys that we have. And change is a part of it. You're going to have to change, brother. That's how it is in the NFL. If you can't deal with change, and the change is constantly changed due to people coming in and out of the lineup, you get those teams, you don't get no love for that. Them people, the Saints ain't going to get no pity from nobody around the league because they're dealing with injuries. Nobody going to pity the Saints. Nobody going to pity. They know that, and they say that all the time. People don't care if you have an injuries. Why? Because you got a depth chart. Why? Because you got coaches that's paid to adjust and adapt regardless of what's going on with the team. If we dealing with scandals, if we dealing with injuries, whatever we dealing with, you still are supposed to win. That's the caveat. Regardless of that, that's how you're supposed to do it. You are paid to win. Like if I'm losing guys out of my rotation, that's what a depth chart's for. The next guy I step in, he might not be as good as that guy, but I have to be able to know who I got and know how I can use these people to get success, to have success, right? That's how it goes. And nobody going to pity the Saints. They're not going to pity us at all. They're not going to care about the injuries at the end of the year. And you're really not supposed to use them as an excuse. And they tell you that every season, despite the fact that people keep using them as an excuse. I don't understand that, man. All right. Earl says these are not excuses. These are excuses, bro. What you talking about, man? No excuses, no injuries. You can't use them. These are legitimate problems, man. It's excuses. He says now you run back Kubiak. People are healthy. You're not gonna have them healthy all the time, man. Earl? What are you talking about? They're gonna get hurt again. This is a physics. What are we missing here? You're not gonna have them healthy all the time. You get them back at the start of next year and they get hurt again 2 or 3 weeks in, then what? Then what we gonna do? What we talking about? You're not going to have these people healthy for a full season. That's the point. Injuries are going to hit you. You have to adapt to it regardless. What are we talking about here? There is no excuses behind injuries. Injuries are a part of the game. If you can't deal with that, then you can't play the game. Y'all in the chat, y'all put one in the chat if I'm speaking English here, because I'm saying the shit that they tell you all the time. Yeah, you like, I hear you, bro. You like Kubiak. I understand, man. We good, but you not look. I'm not pushing down on your Kubiak stuff. How I think about Kubiak and how you think about Kubiak is two different things. Obviously, that's fine. I'll settle with you on that. But what I'm saying is, injuries are a part of the game, and if you can't adjust to that, then what are we talking about? You're not going to have your offense together for a full season. They're going to miss time. It's going to happen. So as an offensive coordinator, you have to win when you don't have your guys in there. If you can't do that, then don't take the job. You don't take the job. That's game. That's game. You know, like I said, the Kubiak thing, you like him. However, that's fine. He did good in weeks 1 and 2. I agree with you on that. But I'm saying is you're not going to have your offense for the full summation of the season. You're going to have these guys hurt. And when they're gone, you got to win. People don't want to hear that you don't have your running back or your wide receiver or your offensive lineman or your center or your defensive end or your cornerback or your safety. People are not going to want to hear that. And the NFL knows it. All those players in NFL know that. They say it all the time. Regardless of whatever happens, you are still required to win because we're not paying you to lose. Now, that might sound a little bit harsh, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And that's just what it is. And it's just, I can't speak no clearer than that. You got to have a plan. Right. Dave, tell him, Dave. Dave says you got to have a plan for the whole roster. Do we not realize here is that the Saints didn't have a plan for McCoy? They didn't. They didn't even have really all season long. We talked about how bad, how inconsistent, and how we just really be looking at the backups for the Saints offensive line. How these guys we had concerns. Like we wanted veterans, like bringing in some veterans to help out there. The Saints brought in some people. They didn't work out. Some of these guys got hurt and they settled in with these other guys. They realized Ali Udo was trash. And then Ali Udo didn't get pushed off the team. They didn't find and pick up nobody. They just stayed with him. You control who you bring on your team. You control all of that. That's the great thing about it. And when injuries start hitting your team, you have, early on, you have 3 different ways you can counter it to your ability. You got trades before the deadline ends. You got pilfering of practice squads you can use, and you got free agency. You got those 3 things. Later in the year, it becomes 2, but you got those things that you can use to compensate for lost talent, but you still are required to win. And it's not just by us, because as the season goes on, the season not going to stop. You still have to accrue a certain amount of games. So you win a certain amount of games so you can be able to get into what you perceive as the playoffs. Because nobody don't want to hear about this. Everybody hurt. Everybody dealing with injuries. It's a physical game, but it's a part of the game. So, I mean, it's just what it is. It's a part of the game, bro. You got to win, regardless of what that is. So, I mean, the bottom line is, man, I don't want to hear about none of that. All I'm saying is that there's an answer to every question, isn't there? There's an answer to every question. Every question has an answer. Some answers might be a little bit more difficult. You might have to do a little bit more research, but there's an answer for every question that's out there. There really is. It's an answer for every question. It really is. Problem with the Saints is the preparedness is the big part of what happened with the Saints. The preparation was bad. The philosophy was bad. The leadership was bad. A lot of that was bad. The Saints have the talent, but it's what you do with said talent. They didn't do the right things with the talent. They were irresponsible. They were non-accountable. Dennis Allen did weird stuff. He was up there doing crazy, stupid shit. And it cost the Saints. There was no accountability at the top. Mickey Loomis letting them destroy the team. He's not checking them. Players are upset. The support base is upset. All this is going on, and he's going to sit back in his chair and just say reason why we failed is because of injuries. He's an asshole. He's a dumbass. So, I mean, you're not supposed to do that in a league. He know that man been a part of that game for over 20 years. He knows he's not supposed to use excuses, but he going to use them to sell them effing tickets, though. That's the only hope bag they got is to throw injuries at people. That's the only way they can hope to get you to go back to the ticket booth. Listen, I'm going to sell you this. Listen, I'll tell you next year. You see how we look here. I promise you next year, boy. When you come back there, then I'm like, man, you ain't going to sell me on that because I understand how it really worked. You got to get coaches that win regardless of the circumstances. They prepare their teams to the best of their ability. And whoever wins, they win. If you don't win, then your ass out of here. That's the bottom line, man. You can't produce a 4-win team and hope to get you get 4 wins. They barely gonna probably get 6 wins on the season. And we trying to keep these bum ass dudes, man. Please, man. Get all these assholes out of here. As far as I'm concerned, get them all out of here. We don't want this, man. We don't want this filth, this garbage. And then in these people, they can't do what they're supposed to do. We got a guy on top of the team saying, keep a bum ass coach. We got a president that don't even know nothing about football, man. This is what are we doing over here? This is a joke franchise. This is a joke team. We're a joke team. The Saints is 4-0. The Saints is 4-8. The Pelicans are 4-18. You think that's a joke? It's the same organization with the same trash. It don't matter. They funk and filth goes all the way over to the Pelican side. They got the same problems the Saints have. The Pelicans are dealing with it right now. The same shit, bro. The Pelicans are dealing with injuries more so than any other team in the NFL, similar to the Saints. You think that's a coincidence? Or it's just the fact that the Saints are behind the curve on all of the stuff dealing with the medicals. They are behind the curve. The Pelicans been behind the curve. They can't keep the man healthy to play. They got a player in Zion Williamson who can't even stay on the goddamn court. Can't even stay on the court. He just got pissed off about a contract that he's not making any money on that he signed, last year? He finally looked at the contract and said, I got to find a new agent to get me up out of this contract, man. I ain't making no money. Contract based on him staying under a certain weight. Contract based on him playing a certain amount of games. And in my perspective, I think, and we talked about this before, that I think that they trying to keep him under a certain amount of games so they have to pay his ass. And he getting wise to it, and he trying to figure a way to get from up under it because they're using it to manipulate to stay underneath that luxury, to try to keep that money down. That's what I think the hell going on, man. But at the end of the day, this is professional sports. The Saints are behind the curve with the physical teams and all this, the medicals and all this. They're behind the curve on this. They got teams right now that has injuries, but for whatever reason, we all seem to get them worse than anybody else. That ain't nothing new. We've been dealing with this for years. Like, damn, how 9 players is hurt? They had, at one time, the people had 9 players. They had all 5 of their starters and 4 key reserves sitting on the bench, cheering on a bunch of G leaguers and third stringers. It was the weirdest shit in the world. It was like watching an elephant tap dance on the flagpole. It was the weirdest shit. It's like watching the elephant in the tutu tap dance on a flagpole. It was the weirdest shit in the world. I was like, what is going on here? What kind of weird ass world we done crossed into? But it's just what it is, man. At the end of the day, man, it's just what we going through. It's a 4-8 season. And like I said, man, change has got to happen, but it won't be because they are doing it. The change will be done by you, because you're going to pressure them to make the correct moves because they want your money. And the only way to make them listen is collectively keep the money from them. Watch how it happened with the Pelicans. A lot of people are going to stop going to the games, and watch how shit start changing. Then they're going to end up firing Willie Green. It won't take as much time to get rid of Dennis Allen as it did Willie Green, because somebody got to take the fall for 4-18. In the next month worth of games, it's not very kind to them. So like I'm saying, at the end of the day, they usually fire them because they're trying to get you to go back to support them. And the only way they can try to sell you on the future of the team when there's no prospect, the money, the salary cap is messed up. They're not drafting very well. And then they deal with all this other stuff. The only way to do it is to kind of throw at the excuse that, hey, man, this is the reason why. Had we not dealt with those pesky injuries, we would have won a Super Bowl this year. That's how it is. We're not going for that. Why? Because they've been doing this for years. You can't keep hitting us with the same okie dokes. Just do that. So I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it is what it is, man. And fam, it's crazy times for a black and gold man and lady. Let me just tell you straight up. Anyway, listen, man, I'm about to get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. Let me talk at y'all. For the stream, I'll be back on Thursday. We got the Pelican post-game report that'll be coming at you. Pelicans face off against the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. We'll be on PPR. Shout out to Lex and Drew. Lexa Drew and DC, my dog, on PPR. But listen, fam, tonight, please do me a service. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing. Also, do us a service, man, and support our sponsors. Give them some love. Mint Mobile, Teach Henley, and Bet Online. Their links in the description section below. They support the Sports Coma and the PRO Media Network. And I like to thank all of our Patreon and YouTube membership family, man, for hanging in there, man. I know it's a tough season, man. 4-8 on the year. We got a terrible Giants club coming up, but then again, we can't overlook anybody. Man, listen, this is a tough year. When you lose and you lose foolishly, it's a tough year, man. So 5 games remaining, man. 5. But anyway, let me do out with the poll. The poll question is, who you think will be the GM in 2025? Is it Mickey? Is it Kai? Someone else? Or I don't know. The winner of tonight's poll is, wow, what a close poll. Kai Harley, 32% to 31% by Mickey Loomis. How about that? Good close poll. We'll close the poll out right there. That was pretty close, family. That's not bad. That was really close. There's a lot of people looking at it saying, man, we need to go ahead on and get and make that Kai thing go, see how that look like. So yeah, I ain't mad at y'all on that. But anyway, with that being said, man, listen, yeah, we need a change, man. We need definitely a general manager and the real president of football operations. No doubt about that. That's the 2 big changes that we need to really have, to be honest with you, fam. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. Listen, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll be back to holler at y'all on tomorrow. And we'll talk more about the Thursday injury report and some more great Saints news. And what we need to do going forward, baby. Much love. I'll let y'all later. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the
All right.
PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gonna beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them say? Who that?
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.